Yaya Jammeh has declared the Gambia an Islamic state. The president, well known for his controversies, made the declaration at a political rally. From Banjul, Lamin Cham has the details.
As from today, Gambia is an Islamic republic.
Addressing thousands of his supporters at an open rally in Brufut, west of the capital Banjul, President Jammeh announced that the process has begun to change the name of the country to the Islamic Republic of the Gambia. The president said, considering the huge Muslim majority of the country, some 90% of the population, and the values of the people, it was justified that the country changed to that name.
Gambia is a Muslim country, and it's true, I have no doubt about that. Gambia is 95% Muslim, but do we live according to Islam, we the men of the Gambia? This is a Muslim country, and we are not afraid to be Muslims. So the way of life is still based on the colonial concept.
The president was, however, quick to address any possible implications of such a decision. The Gambia has a small population of Christians, numbering about 10%, who have been living harmoniously with their Muslim majority brothers. Allaying their affairs, the president said Christians would continue to operate normally, and even the dress codes will not change by this decision.
Let me make it very clear. That does not mean Christians cannot worship their way of life. Christians will be given their own respect. The way they celebrate Christmas or whatever will continue. The Almighty Allah has given us directive as to how we work with people that don't believe in our religion.
And in an apparent move to address the international concerns, President Jammeh used the occasion to condemn any act of terrorism in the name of Islam, emphasizing that such practices will never be allowed in the Gambia. These are some of the views of the Gambians in the street of Banjul.
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. First of all, look at the dress code of the ladies. Look at the bars and restaurants in the Gambia. I mean, look at the concept of people is below average. You have to clear the country first from all evil aspects of life in terms of Islam. Like today, look at Makkah. You will not see a thief there because there is a Sharia. You will not see a bar and restaurant because there is a Sharia. We have to demolish all these bars and restaurants. You see females, they're walking naked in the Gambia. You cannot call that an Islamic state.
Turning the whole framework into an Islamic Sharia law, I think that's a big announcement.
But he said, of course, that Christians, non-Muslims can operate as they used to be, and then even the dress code will not be affected. So perhaps people don't have anything to fear.
Well, if that is the case, then we don't have Sharia anymore. Because if you turn a framework into an Islamic principle, then everything should change. Dress code, everything. But if you continue to be the same way we used to be, then there is no Sharia.
I think there should be a better know as to what is an Islamic state. You know, you need to look at your constitution. You must be able to look at the laws within this thing, whether it's going to be governed by purely Islamic laws, or is going to be still not the conventional laws. Those things need to be looked at and needs to be clarified before anybody would make a conclusion as to whether Gambia is appropriate to be an Islamic state.
The Gambians there ending that report by Lamin Cham in Banjul. Meanwhile, Gambians in the diaspora have launched an online campaign against President Jammeh's proclamation of the Gambia as the Islamic Republic of the Gambia. Under the hashtag Not In My Name, at least hundreds of citizens made Facebook videos to tell the president that they are not part of his bizarre proclamation. Here are some of those reactions.
Sometimes I think we tend to feel like we're overreacting, but I think enough is enough. Yaya Jammeh has insulted us. He has insulted our people too much. My conversation with you, Yaya Jammeh, is that regardless of what you do to our people, you cannot divide Gambia.
Well, this matter would have been really laughable if it weren't for the serious potential consequences that it has for the country, the Gambia. And so I want to take a minute to actually express our collective disgust at not only the pronouncement of it, but the intent to actually follow through with it. So what we want to say from the onset, and this is very important, is that this is not going to be carried out in our name. No, not in our name. Because as Gambians, we've always lived in peace with our Christian neighbors and friends and relatives. And frankly, it has always been a wonderful relationship.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mahmoud Kubali. I would like to join my fellow brothers and sisters and tell Yaya Jammeh that not in my name, that the Gambia is a secular state that belongs to all religions that have been practicing there since the beginning of our nation.
Gambians in the diaspora sending a message